Hey, this is Larry Fulmer. It's Sunday evening at 6:31 on the 16th of March. I've been doing a lot of listening today all over the net. Did a little soul searching of myself. What do I want to do? Some things I had answers and some things did not. I had a communication today. I was kind of surprised at that. I had a communication today and I requested from them that they come back sometime after supper, my time, sometime after 6:30 my time. So I went ahead after supper and I started this video, see if they're going to come back or not. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're thinking anymore. I don't know how they're thinking what they're thinking anymore because it doesn't fit. And yeah, I'm disturbed about it. Very unterran kinds of thoughts are happening and taking place. And if that's the new norm, I will have no part of it. I will have no part of it at any level. So they need to make up their minds and they need to do so quickly because I've always got something to do. If I don't, I'll find something. So there's that. There's a friend of mine online, somebody I thought I was getting to know. This is a message for her and her alone. At this point in my life, I trust no one. For all my humanity telling me that I do need people, my mind tells me I need no one because everybody turns out to be a taker sooner or later. And takers are predatory, hence negative. It's not my choice. You've made choices. Every single person on this planet has made choices. Whether they choose right or poorly is upon them and them alone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then I guess it don't apply to you. If you do know what I'm talking about, it especially applies to you because you've had time to change. You've had time to fix or correct whatever's going on with you as a person. That's just how that is, you know. It's time to deal with the situations of life as it happens. And just time to deal with it. I'm really hoping the individual that wanted to talk to me uh, this afternoon when I had done wore myself out doing a lot of things online and around the home and after the storm this morning. It turned out to be a very nice day. All the trees that are going to bloom this year or just about all of them are already in bloom. Got bees and birds everywhere, and it's a nice afternoon after this morning was kind of bad. I saw on, let me make sure where it was because I think I posted it. Let me go see what this individual's got to say first. And stop that. I don't agree with that. Can't agree with that. Come on. Well, I didn't mean to post that twice. I'm going to take this one off. Well, I thought I could take it off. Move to trash. That's what I want to do. I think it was this video here. Anyway, what it is a gathering in North Carolina. It looks like a lot of people there. Wanting Musk held accountable for his illegal immigrancy and criminally falsified citizenship application. They want him deported. Melania is the same way. They want her deported. Barron is a birthright citizen that Trump says is not possible. So Barron gets deported. And I understand all of what they're saying. And I'm still looking for this other video because I want to find this video. Let me go to my YouTube. Maybe it's click under likes in history and see if I see it. I don't see it. So where was it? Maybe somebody got it took down. So I don't see it. So let me go back to Facebook. I know I've seen it. I just don't know where the hell I've seen it. I thought this was it, but I can't find it. But I will put. I know this is Facebook, and if you don't have Facebook, that's okay, but I'm going to post this video on my thing here. It's Facebook. It's about veterans in Michigan. I think it's Michigan. Maybe it's Missouri. Hell, I don't know. I can't find it. So, the video I'm talking about was, let me go down here and see if I liked it. It's not in this list either. I don't know where the hell I saw it at. Anyway, what it was about was a bunch of veterans on the street where behind them was the White House. And they turned around and they were pledging they were all veterans supposedly, and they were pledging new, uh, restating their vows, their oath of becoming military, defend the U.S. and the Constitution from foreign and domestics, with an emphasis said on it, on the way that it was said. And they were repeating their oath, and they left off the commander in chief. They left off the commander in chief, and it was over and done. Now, you can take this all kinds of ways. People are tired of Washington, period. This is how I took it. Everything to do with Washington. The president, his cabinet, appointees, and Congress. None of them are paying any attention to their duties they are elected to. Not a damn one of them. Not a damn one of them. And somebody's coming. And so I thought it was a big deal. Now, whether they're willing to take up arms against the defeat of old enemies, domestic, there's no foreign enemies of the U.S. There hasn't been foreign enemies of the U.S. in a long, long time. We are our own enemy. The governments at all levels of this country are at enemies with the American citizens. They've always been enemies of the American citizens. My entire life, that covers 63, but I think it goes back to 1871. The government we have has enslaved the citizens who abide by their rules and their laws. Their rules and their laws that they don't abide by themselves. It's obvious with all the corruption you can find left and right, and it's always a government related situation. So fuck them, bluntly. And if I'm anything, I'm blunt, truth, honesty. I don't give a shit who likes what I say. I just don't. Somebody's getting closer, but I don't see no eyes yet. We'll see. I haven't taken any pain meds today. I haven't seen anything of value today as far as there's something happening. I just don't know. I mean, there is definitely a push on, how do I want to say, the public and people that voted for Trump. And in the last 50 some odd days, they have turned against Trump and everything that he's doing because they found out it affected them as well. Wow, you didn't know that was going to happen? Are you some ignorant sons of bitches? Obviously, you are. So if you've woke up to anything, you should have woke up to the fact that our government is defunct. It doesn't abide by the Constitution, hasn't in decades. It needs to be gone. This country should be considered officially collapsed. We don't want to take Trump out. We want to take it all out and just not have anything for a while. We can function without some asshole telling us what to do. Thank you, Roger. Thank you. I try. Um, but that's what we should do. If we want Terra to consider us part of Terra again, we have to get rid of every negative aspect of this society. If it all has to collapse, it all must collapse. It's not like there's not better out there that we haven't even touched upon since over 14,000 and some odd years ago. We haven't learned jack shit as a people. As a collective people of the surface of Terra, we haven't learned a fucking thing. And some of you still haven't learned a damn thing. So did Terra do the right thing in making a two-species call on the surface? At first, I was very against it. I mean, I was blowing my... True. That's true, Roger. It's time. It's past time. My involvement with Terrans for the last... Oh, by the way, yesterday was the end of 3 years, and today is the start of my 4th year of involvement within Terra and known to them. We have to get rid of not just this country's government, but all the countries around the world are negative. There's not a positive one out there. And don't think I haven't looked. There's nothing out there to model ourselves after but the 5 laws of Terra and learn how to become what we truly are, Terrans. Earth is a 1,000-year-old English German term. It's a descriptive term to describe the ground, the earth. They're going to go plant in the earth. That's the ground. That's not the name of this planet, never has been. It's unacceptable as a name. I don't even use it no more unless it's a slip of the tongue kind of thing, because I'm running my mouth 90 miles a minute. I might slip out Earth to somebody that I'm trying to get to understand what I'm saying, if, wherever I am. It's always been Terra. You either say Terra or Mother Terra, or you don't use a name at all. Not some incorrect name. Not some forced name from languages that means absolutely none of what you think it means. This planet, okay. Earth, no. Earth is the ground on which you stand. That's not the planet. The ground you stand on may not even be earth. It may be steel or concrete or wood or something else. Dirt, ground is earth that you can plant a plant in and grow. That is a descriptive word. That is not the name. It is not a noun name. You understand what I'm saying? And from there you go and you find out the history that no one wants to teach you, whether they know it or don't know it or ignore it, whatever, by mainstream academia and mainstream historians and mainstream archaeologists. They don't want to go into anything past their already accepted timeline. Do you think there was no modern humans here before 6,000 years ago or 12,000 years ago? And if they were here 12,000 years ago, why don't you be totally honest and say how long they've been here for? You don't know. That's the point. You don't know. And most of you will never accept it when you find out the truth of it, when they start showing themselves to you who will remain while the others have gone. And by others, I mean negatives, because obviously they had a reason for telling me 3 generations. And after that, the negatives will have no more children, which is what started this whole last argument. That why I haven't had no contact here the last few days, which is fine by me. But with what I know and all these little tests and things I've had to go through in the last year, granted for 8 months of that year I was gone, but I've been through the ringer when I came back. They wanted me to get all the qualifications of being the leader that I had not had up to that point, roughly 4 months ago, 5 months ago now. Let me tell y'all what I've learned is I have abilities I haven't even touched upon yet, because council leader abilities, they're chosen people. They're not appointed. Council leaders are not the top council leader. They're not even elected. They are chosen by the previous council leader. And they are chosen because they are supposed to have been born to be the next council leader. That's how it's supposed to work. And I'm not saying you don't ever have people that repeat being council leader. We've had a few of those. True. It's close. It's very close. I'm not going there right now. I'm trying to stay on focus for what I think is coming tonight, if it comes at all. When you realize where modern humans came from and did not evolve from, listen to what I said, when you realize where we came from, not who we evolved from, that's important. That's important. We didn't evolve from Neanderthals and all these others that they showed hundreds of thousands of years history. Some going back millions of years. They think to what, Lucy or some such shit. That's just another hominid on this planet. That's all. There's a vast array of hominids on this planet, and most you've never heard about. Never heard about. If you don't know what an original human is and where they are now continuing their civilization non-stop from the very beginning, you have no concept of what kind of time is or what history is that we have behind us to have got to where we are after the last collapse of civilization, the last surface collapse of civilization, and the irradiation and mutation of surface dwelling humans, the ones who would not go below when the council told all Earth people to go below, all Terran people. See how that works? To come enter Terra, because we're not going to have interaction with the negatives who have come to Terra. When they decided they wanted conquest of this planet and could not achieve it, notice what I just said again. They could not achieve it. So the original humans of Terra went to enter Terra and the subsurface colonies and made themselves safe and secure with their advanced technology. This is all 3 years old information. This is nothing new. It was new when I first started telling everybody about it. It's not new now. And the war that we had upstairs, which is the solar system, and when I'm making of the solar system with Terran tech, safe and secure. Even if it meant taking out surface humans, space forces up in the solar system that had no authority to be there were taken out. They know that. You may not know it, but they know it. They know there's not a damn thing they can do about it. They know it now. They may want to put out drones and survey certain places and areas on the surface and out in the oceans, but there's nothing they can fucking do about it. They can't do anything about it. They've tried everything they can think of, and mostly they've just pissed people off because they know the attempt and they know it failed, which makes you seem dumber than dirt that you keep trying because there's nothing you can do. They're safe and secure, even the sea bases on the ocean floor that the government admitted to when they released the documentation. Go find it if you want to see proof. It's government's documentation of it. And also go find the app that removes the blacked out text. You can find that as well. Yes. But they're not drones. They're not small like a drone either. If you see a drone, you do not see interterrans in subsurface colonies. The closest thing you'll see is something that'll appear and disappear. And I'm not talking about moving away. And if they allow you to see them, there is a purpose to it. You may not know what it is, you may not recognize it, but there is a purpose. This was an ordered situation in the Council of Terra over a year ago. That we were going to start coming to this day, we're going to start coming to the surface. They wanted to be known. Whether the government's accepted or not is immaterial. It's just they're not authorized, see. And it was ruled a year ago. They're not even going to get time to discuss and try to attempt to compromise. There is no compromising with negatives. And once you are deemed negative, you have no value. I mean, none. And I have talked about the kinds of people and the kinds of things that are considered negative to Terra till I'm fucking blue in the face and tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Go back and watch the older videos, the ones that I didn't delete more than about a year ago, this month. I deleted 738 fucking videos, some of them 8 hours long, because I got mad as hell. They're not. If anything, they're waiting on the time to help everybody. But they're not going to do it while they have a bunch of feral negative humans running around on the surface that will harm intentionally anybody that they know aligns themselves with Terrans. But they haven't come here in the last 4 years, starting 4 years. And they know why they haven't come here. Whether they admit it or not, they know why they're not here. Because anybody that says that this government should end, should become a target, should it not, by the government? Don't you think? The only thing we've had was 3 years ago, there was a 2-van situation, and those 2 vans were emptied and gone. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they took the vans, but they took them. Yes, they did. And there's not been another instance from the watchers above me. And I don't mean watchers like biblical watchers. I mean watchers as in the unit that is providing security for the Council of Terra leader on the surface. No, they also put out the information that those drones were corporate testing. Some of it was military testing. Some of it spewed out shit in a like as in a type of lava, and that lava, when it cooled, grew on the buildings that it landed on. That information's out there, and it has not been erased yet. That information's out there. These corporate drones that were basically military prototypes and shit, that information's still out there. I recently checked. It's still out there. Don't see nobody coming to shut me up. Of course, you don't see a lot of people here that want to be seen as watching my information. So they don't comment. They don't do anything. Some don't even come back. That Larry's out there, y'all. That is one crazy son bitch. I can imagine what they're saying because they don't know. But don't be fooled thinking that the human population came from the Mesopotamian area, from the fucking Anunnaki mixed mutts of the galaxy. You're just being stupid again. That's what they want you to be. The negatives want you to think that some reptilian half-mutt hybrid of the galaxy came here and created humans. They couldn't defeat the humans that were here. And if they had all gotten together, the colonists from off planet that were living here for millions of years, if they had all gotten together and unified like they are now, it would have never happened at all. The negatives would have been run off the planet at that time. But that's not what they chose to do. They chose to make themselves safe and secure in all levels, the other three levels of Terra, and let the negatives have the surface. And that's how you became negative, or you became who you are on the surface. If you've managed to escape the negativity, it's a sickness, it's an illness, it's a contagion, and it's easily spread from one being to another being. All you have to do is accept that way of life. That's all you have to do. Whatever they say, if you accept it, if your mind agrees with it, that darkness in the pit of your torso begins to grow. And soon you're treating others the exact same way. You doubt it? Just go anywhere where you have a lot of population commenting on whatever. It don't matter what it is they're commenting on. And read what they say to the other people that they don't think is like them. Maybe they're not negative as they are. Maybe they're not listening to the negative, what they want you to do for rules and laws and shit. If I don't think the law is right, it don't make a fuck what they do. They can have 10,000 libraries full of laws, and I won't give a flying fuck monkey. Nor do I abide by society's rules of how one should act when society acts as they do. When somebody falls through the cracks of society and becomes homeless, and they make a law, say, oh, homelessness is illegal. If you can't abide by our system and become homeless, and you can't keep a job, and you can't do what we want you to, as in the society itself, you are illegal. You know they're thinking about doing away with the crypto shit and making water your currency? Have you heard that shit yet? It's out there. I saw it today for the first time. Water may become the next currency. Who has all the water? The water companies that are sucking that shit up and stored it in distribution houses is why you don't have reservoirs and lakes and shit full of water anymore, and the underground aqueducts and shit that are natural to the planet don't have enough water that the drills can't touch the water in them because the companies have done sucked it up and bottled it, put a chemical or two in it, and declared it's patented water, and you're going to pay them for it. Like a corporation should ever have any rights to water and minerals. They're not a being. They're not a person. I don't give a damn what laws they passed in this country. If you follow them laws, then you're a part of them. And you're going to get what's coming to you as a negative individual. You may not see it. You may not see it this year. But I bet you're going to see the results of it this year. Oh, buddy, yeah. I got eyes on me now. Several. But I ain't hearing nothing. Which brings me to another thing. When I said you're going to know it, and you're going to know it this year, is because they're setting up council chambers all over the surface of this planet. Any building that is empty and large enough can be converted by a group of people in another density or another frequency that you can't see or hear or anything. And they're gutting that building and turning it into what they want it to be for a council chamber in the locals and sublocals of Terra surface. And for now, they're going to be staffed by the Terrans from the subsurface below the levels of Terra. Are going to occupy these locals and sublocals on the surface. And if they don't use that ruling they passed a couple of weeks ago, where they're trying to a probationary period kind of thing, where they bring you in if you're positive and they start teaching you. They may give you a device to use so you can understand and see everything they're doing. They have a device for that developed already. I've been working on that for 3 years. These things are happening and you can't even see it. You don't even know it, and neither do the negatives know it. I mean, how are they going to know unless they watch this video and listen and then try to figure out what I've said from everything I've shown, and telling people to go to the forum and look at this and go to the forum and look at that, even though nobody's there posting. As the owner of the forum, I know how many times things have been viewed. That does not account for the people that show themselves have been looking at these videos. And the only way they're going to find it is from the links I put in the descriptions of these videos whenever I think about putting it, which I try to put it at least every other day or something like that, just because I know it takes up a lot of copying and pasting to put the exact same information the exact same way in every video I make, so everybody gets an opportunity that watches and says, hey, can go there and see the 5 laws of Terra, the 5 rules to help surface humans get to the 5 laws. Oh, yeah. It's a single page. Go look at it, print it out if you want, download it, whatever you want to do. Only one law has been changed, and the 5 rules added in millions of years. Millions. They had no need for one until about 3 years ago. They were bringing up this whole topic of people that didn't perform their duties. The law became known as dereliction of duty from a conversation I had with Hermes, who was alive at the time in body, who has since returned from limbo and crossed up to become a grandfather of Terra. Ah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I have been to all kinds of celebrations and things down there. I haven't been to nothing very recent because of my injuries and my medical problems, and my pain meds don't let me focus enough to do much of that kind of activity. The travel view and the new one of seeing without going anywhere that I did the other day for the first time successfully, all by myself. So it's something I'm having to learn more about and work with. It'll probably get easier, but right now it's pretty draining. And I know of other things I can do that I haven't attempted, but I know I can do them because I've been told that I can do things that I have not had a need to try, to attempt. There's no need in doing some of those things yet. And I do not look into the future. And that's the biggest one everybody seems to want me to do. I'm not concerned about the future. I'm worried about today and tomorrow. I don't see into the future. Some people have given me their images of the future, but they're like in little closets in my mind, and I'll bring them back up and open them when they apply. They don't apply right now. So I I am purposefully not going into anything far future, whether it's months or a year. Too much can change and change everything. I've already seen that kind of shit. If certain things changed, then times change and the future changes. It is not predestined. Nothing is predestined, as some people like to say. Nothing's ordained to be a certain way in a certain time and all that kind of new age crap. By new age means it could also cover new religions. They don't know shit. Be blunt again, they don't know shit. They need to take all their fictional shit and give it to the homeless to burn for winter heat, for energy, for heating water and cleaning it and stuff like that. That's about what it's worth. I'm just being honest, you know. You damn sure don't learn about the Anunnaki in there, and it is they who brought the negativity to this planet, along with those that followed them that were also negative. Because upon hearing that the Anunnaki were here, well, here they come. See, they all wanted to see and take part in what was on this planet. Somebody's here. Somebody is here. I can't figure out who it is. They're not talking yet. Right here somewhere. Right there. Hello? Hello? I don't hear nothing. If you got something to say, I'd love to hear it. I'm getting something, but I can't. I don't understand it. Can you change what you're saying? Modify it somehow? I'm not hearing what you're saying. Hello? I hear you now. I hear you now. Yes. Do I know you? I don't think I know you. I do not know you. Oh, okay. I can't. All I see is eyes right now. Yes. Uh huh. So who are you, sir? Who are you, sir? You're not ready. I know people that are like that. I know several people that are like that of tarot. Several people of tarot groups. Yes, sir. You're a recent. Your people had recent conversation with me. Ah, I know who your people are. You don't have to say anything. Yes, sir. You must apologize for what? Uh huh. Right. That was supposed to have been last Monday this week. Monday this week. That was supposed to have happened. It did not. I was kind of looking forward to that. On top of everything else, yes. That individual crossed over. He did. It's so very ancient, and he crossed over. Damn. Condolences to your people on that individual's name. I still do not have that individual's name because your people didn't want to share yet. I understand. Familiarity is key. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know where your people came from on Terra before they are where they are now. Yes, I do. I will think to you who your people are, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. Right. I'm right. Oh, okay. Okay. That's good then. Hold on just a moment. Let me find something on the spreadsheet I opened because I felt like there was going to be communication tonight. I just have to find it. Yes, sir. Mm, mm, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. It should be a blank name, but the information should be filled out, and I'm not seeing it. I got it. Yes. Edit. I'm going to edit information, and then I can get into the note. Okay. The last time I talked to him was February 28th. It was a Friday afternoon. And we had planned this trip to be Monday this week. That's all right. That's positive, yes. He told me much about your people, including uh, who the original leader was that came to where you are now. Can you see through my eyes? Yes. Yes. Yes, you may. Can you read in the English and understand it? Oh yes. Okay. Look. Look right here. That's his name. The original leader's name. Yes. I'm not sure I know how to pronounce that. Scale, skill, scale. His name was Scale, and that he still exists. Still exists, which means he's very ancient as well. Right. But he's not the leader now. Yes, I understand this. There's a lot of elders. Some have crossed up, some have crossed over, and some are still existing in another form, not their physical body, perhaps. Yes, I understand. Yes. I would be very interested in some information like that. 316. Yes. Okay. That's good for me to hear. That's very good to hear. Tomorrow. Tomorrow, you going to assume the new leader's position tomorrow of those of your subsurface inner Terran people. You become the leader of those people. Okay. Yes, I'm aware. Very interesting. Thank you, sir. And how did you know about me? I mean, other than, did you have any of his information that we shared? You got all of his information. It was passed to you before he crossed over. Just too long when he was ready to go. I understand that. That's what I've heard before from others that have crossed over, choose to cross over. They're just tired of existence. They grow tired of existence eventually. Their power has, their energy has, it bursts forth and it grows and it grows. And then at some point in time, over a vast existence time period, some would just rather become non existent and they cross over. That may not be the end of their story. Right. Right. Wow. Yes, I understand all about how this is working. I do. I would have a hell of a time trying to explain all this to the surface because we don't have that ability anymore. We don't have a lot of abilities anymore. Right. In time. In time. Um, and the clouds are all looking pinkish orange. You see? Yeah. So we had a very nice day after the storm this morning. We had a bad storm with tornadoes. Yeah. But this afternoon, it's been wonderful. Dried up, you can't even tell we had a storm. Yes. You want to rearrange that appointment. Is that so? Well, you know, I've got a big run in going on within the Terran right now. You're aware. Yes, I would. I would. If a shuttle or a runner arrives and I know of it, I will go. I'll go. You know, I got some stipulations the same as I always do. But yes, I would go. Nothing's changed. Correct. The only thing I have changed is my perceptions of the totality of my duties. I'm not going to waste time until terrorists start showing me more from their actions and deeds and their words. You heard that. You heard that whole. Uh, he crossed before that. He did. So you've been paying extreme attention to becoming familiar with me. I have felt eyes. Sometimes I don't know who the eyes are. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Yours I did not know. No. Let me look at something on my computer. I don't want to mix up too many things in one day. Well, today's the 16th. You know that you're aware of our times. Okay. When are you thinking? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. Yes, it was on a Monday. It was on the 10th. Now I've got, um, yeah, I can slide the 10th down to the 17th. I don't have nothing right now scheduled for tomorrow. Can you pull the strings and have them here tomorrow? It's already been done. Okay. But what time? What time? No, no, later. Later, sir. How about 8 a.m.? I can edit this and say 8 a.m. as long as we need. Yes, sir. Can you see this time? This time I need to be back. Anything from that time to this time, I'm free. Agreed? Do you agree? I agree. Okay. That's tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I have a question for you, sir, if I may. Okay. Has anyone from your colony sent a runner here in the last day? One singular day? That's not an answer. Okay. Follow my eyes, please. You see those 3 spots right there? They're whiter and clearer than any of the other ground around. Right. They're the exact points that are beneath a runner. Somebody has been here. Oh, yes. Yes. That's correct. I'm trying to get to a photo I did so I can show. What's going on with this phone? Okay. Viewers, this is 3 spots I'm talking about. They're about 1.5 feet on the 2 big ones, and about 8 inches or a little bit more on the one in the center here. Here. That's 3 spots. There, except for where the grass is growing around the outside of that circle, is perfectly clear. There's no grass, there's no dirt, there's nothing but some gravel. Right. It looks to me like where a runner would land. And the center is power absorption. Power absorption. Correct. No, yes. Right. Mm-hmm. That does look like it. About 1.5 feet on each one, and about 8 to 10 inches on the other one if I went out and measured it. Sure, 8 to 10. That's just a guess. Me standing up versus laying a ruler right there. Oh yeah, you can still see it bright. I mean, it's bright compared to the rest of the ground and the gravel. And that should have been that one should have been totally grassed up, and it's not. True. Huh? I don't understand. That's not translating. Oh. It was nobody from your colony. Okay, true. Yes. Does this runner have IA? It does. It's the same one, same pilot. They know where to go already. Okay. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. I'm okay with that. I am. It'll make my box here a little bit longer. Can you say that again? Mm-hmm. Yes, I can. I'm still working on that ability right now. I really am. It's new to me. It's new to me. Yes, I can. Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. Um, yes, I will do that. I will surely do that. You have other leaders, other people's leaders that'll be present? Right. No. No, I don't want to do that. No extra anything. No extra anything. No, sir. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Yes, sir. I don't do uh, travel view or pick up and drop visitations, and I do not, especially do not like any kind of like an honorary or anything like that, or a celebration or something of that kind. Just an everyday situation. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see nothing extra. No, sir. That's not how I work. No, and it does me no good because I want to see the daily life of Terrans. Yes, I will meet the leaders of the various people, but no extra anything. No, sir. It's just a visit, just an ordinary visit from one person of one people to people of another people, another colony. I don't do that. I never have. I don't plan to start. Today starts my fourth year of involvement with Interterra and in the subcolonies, including the colonies upstairs in the solar system. That's right. That's right. Though right now my attention is not to pay any attention to the rest of the solar system. There are other people that are doing that in my stead. People I trust until I don't trust anymore. Hopefully that never happens. Yes. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow then. Physically seeing you. Sure. Just another day where you are. I'll just as soon come home if I see something that doesn't look normal. That's right. Thank you, sir, for your understanding. Normal is as normal does. That's what we want. I'm not in for. When I was in the military, we had things called pomp and circumstances and stuff like that, where you celebrate leaders and this and that and the other thing. I want no part of that kind of crap. It's unnecessary. That's true. To walk among the people is the best thing there is. Yes, I'll listen to anybody that has something to say. That's what I do. Problems and non-problems. You knew that. Okay. I'm fine. I'll be ready to go. I'll be sitting out front waiting on them. Tell them I don't like to be late. I don't like nobody to be late. Early is better. Late is no good. If it's too late, I'll go do something. Right. You have the time synchronized. You know what time, you know my time. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Most people do on Terra know the time of day of their surface counterparts. Yes. In the locals above and the locals below. Right. Yes, sir. This crazy ass damn wild cat. It's a wild cat outside. Yes. Uh-huh. I'll probably be wearing probably my attire for tomorrow, depending on the weather and all. I'll probably have jeans on. Whatever shirt, and I'll probably be carrying my robe with me. In case I have some sort of a ceremony that we have to do. Some people do, some people don't. So I bring one. No, I'll have it in a haversack on my side. Right, with my knife. I always have my knife. If I wasn't going in the terror, I'd have my gun. True. You understand that? True. Very good. Yes, sir, I agree. 100% I agree. Sometimes some things are necessary in drastic measures. You have that story already. Damn. You know much of me. Of course, then again, a lot of Terrans know much of me that I don't know they know. I'm being studied. I'm not what they expected me to be. That's for sure. I'm kind of proud of that fact that I'm not what they expected. I wish there were more. I do. Yes. This is a great conversation. I appreciate it. No, I would know if something was suspicious. I think I'd know. I usually do. Thank you, sir. Duties. Yes, duties. You have a good evening in your colony. That was great. That was interesting. And that was okay. That's done. And save that on my. All right. Wow. So the old leader has crossed over, and we have a new leader. And the new leader is uh, Terran just like the old leader was Terran of that people, of his people, or their people, however you want to say it, because there's more than one. There are several species of people, types of people. They don't like the word species. There are several peoples living in that colony. Some awesome visit tomorrow if it happens, and I'll do a video when I return if I don't have something else come up. That'll be the first thing I do. Uh, I thought that visit was gone because it didn't happen last week or this week on Monday. There's been a lot happening. Mm, okay. Oh, I'm tired. And that wasn't necessarily the communication I thought I was going to have tonight. Huh. Unless somebody's eyes are the ones that was coming from earlier today. I'm not sure yet. Hmm. It gives me something to think about tonight until I go to sleep, huh? I've been wanting to go there for some time to be taken there by an inner Terran. Well, subsurface or inner Terran is the same. They're all below the surface. That's going to be awesome. Especially this colony and where it is. If you remember who I was talking to about this visit and where these Terran are, much to learn about that particular area. I don't know much about it. I haven't been there, haven't seen, haven't travel viewed, haven't had a conversation with anybody from there until this one that was on the, what was funded again? It was on the 28th, no name. Uh, Come on, let me edit it so I can read it again. Dang it. This is a subsurface colony below Mount Shasta. These Terran came from Lemuria, whose leader at the time, when the Lemuria came to Mount Shasta, I'm not going to say how or nothing. That's kind of immaterial. That's where they are. Scale. Skell. Sounds like scale, like Scale. Scale was the leader who is still existing. You know, the long lifetimes and long existences these people have once they cross up, and they just keep crossing up. I don't know if there is a limit to what they can do. Various people can do it, some can't, some can. But the names are, they hold their names tightly. Yeah, they are known to have some type of limited uh, relationships with surface people there. Unlike many other places, the Agarthans, who they're not Terran indigenous, but they are Terran nonetheless at this time. I mean, they have been for a very long time. They were one of the, if I remember right, fifth species to come here, fifth people to come here. I think they came here right after the Naga, who was fourth. But there was two others here before the Naga. Drishan's people and one group of, I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm kind of focused on the moral right now. If that's where some of this has to start, oh, there's original humans there. The Lang are there. There's some of the three species of the Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and the Yeti there. There's representatives from the destroyed Maldek planet. There's some Telosians there. Who else is there? Did I just say? Oh, there's some Raptors and Saurians there as well in Shasta. Raptors and Saurians are there. There may be some others that didn't get mentioned. If I don't know of it or it wasn't told to me, I haven't mentioned them. I have to be sure before I say somebody's going to be there or not. And I already know some of the Terrans, and I mean some of the Raptors in that location, that local. I may not know the ones in that sublocal. And I know some Raptors in the local, but may not be in that sublocal of Mount Shasta. I don't know that. I can't say that right now. I don't know. But I know Grandmother per se was the ones that first contacted the leader of the Terran Agothrans in that sub colony and wanted them to contact me. Grandmother per se, who's a Saurian, a Terran Saurian. I'm just thinking. Wow. He looked out there. He actually went over there and looked what he could see before the last of the light faded. He said that was a runner signature, which means somebody was here, like I thought. And I don't know who yet. Somebody came the other night and they just parked it. And there was no, we didn't know who, we didn't know what. I don't know what they did, don't know what they wanted. It's kind of a mystery. But nobody has runners but interterran colonies. Whether there's interterra or subsurface really doesn't matter. They all have the same technologies pretty much, except for the variances among the people. From there, they may have their own, the people have their own technologies. Some have merged with Terrans, and they use Terran technology. I mean, they've been here You could say forever. They've been here for millions and millions of years. There's only three that came from above the upstairs during the battles. They came to assist and to join forces outside of the solar system. I haven't talked much about that because I really don't want a whole lot to do with that right now because my focus is Terra and the surface. There must be an integration. They know it. I know it. And if that integration means the loss of negatives, it means the loss of negatives. That's just how that is. So I added that thing, so I guess I got to resave it here. What else? I knocked this down. I need to get to this. No reply. Copy. And cut that down. 7:58 my time. It's 1 hour and 26 minutes on the video counting. I read something today that I want to talk about a moment before I get off this video. When I was in the military in 1991, before I resigned out of the military, I was a 35 Delta and tactical intelligence officer, captain. I'm going to tell y'all something that you need to know if you don't remember my saying so in the past. And this was 1991, okay? If the plans for your home was on file with the government, or they can get the plans for your home from a corporate manufacturer to know the electrical layout of your home. In 1991, they could pinpoint where you were in your home without a drone, without anything else but your home's electrical system. Think of it as like a blind fish in a cave using sensories. They're the sensories that they have and all. The blind fish never bumps anything. In a similar sort of manner, they use your electrical current in your home to know where you as an electrical being are at any time. I have a reason for saying that on this video. And somebody I know is listening, whether we see their people in chat or not. I know they're listening. If the government had that ability in 1991, I want to tell you, if you're a negative, if we can do that then, I'm going to tell you something Terrans can do that you don't know about. Obviously. Not only can Terrans find where you are, there's nowhere on this planet that you can hide or be safe. I've said that I don't know how many times. There's no bunker that you can go in to safe. There's nowhere you can go that they can't get to you. and they can pull you up on their technology. They probably have your name already. They know your biological registry, and they can track you. And they can tell how fast your heart's beating. They can read all your biological readings from Interterra, and they can shut them down. They can rearrange them. And here's the specifics of why I wanted to tell you this. They don't even have to come to the surface to cause negative people not to be able to reproduce. Remember the last couple of videos, I told y'all how mad I was about this thing. I get it. I get that people are like, what the fuck? I get it. But here's the point that you need to remember about what they've done recently that pissed me off so bad. They went ahead and declared two species on the surface, the negative feral and the positive. That's all they wanted to know. They already know the intelligence levels and et cetera and et cetera. But a negative being has no value in the eyes of Terra. I'm not saying whether I do or not, but mostly I don't. If they say there's going to be no more Terrans on Terra, you better believe when they tell you the third generation that they mean the third fucking generation. Whether your third generation is here or not here. And I'm going to venture a guess, if you do not have your third generation now, you may not be going to have a third generation. It could very well be like that. I don't know. If you're here and your parents are gone, when they declared this, it's something that they obviously already had into effect that I didn't know about. And they must have initiated this plan by the time I heard about it. You see. Because there's no real other purpose than going ahead and declaring a negative feral species if you don't have plans for the negative feral species. When it was told to me only 3 generations remain, and in a Terran lifetime, that's probably not more than a day to them, but it could be weeks, months, or years for us. Years plural. It could be, but I really sincerely doubt it. They're not wanting ferals here. They're not wanting the negative feral humans here at all. But rather than have to go through buildings and pick and choose who is feral and who is not by the people themselves through the use of gifteds of Terra, they have evidently had this plan going long term. Basically, make a feral negative human infertile for both sexes. Both sexes. And if you think we can find people on the surface of this planet, and I don't give a flying fuck monkey if they're in a cave in the Middle East somewhere, all you need is an electrical signal. Yes, I know. I'm just telling you what we had in 91. And when they say they can't find somebody, they're lying. And when Terrans say something's going to happen to the third generation, and then no more negatives on the surface of this planet, even if they're accepting your biological expiration date, As things get harder on the surface and certain things start collapsing on the surface, like food, electrical power systems and such could collapse. The governments could collapse themselves. All kinds of things can happen. Could be another man-made pandemic. It could be this whole entire situation where they've been gathering up water for decades now, and there's everything drying up. Entire lakes and shit out in the Midwest that have boats stranded. Can't even get out there and get to them hardly. And then they have to have something to pick the boat up and put it on a trailer. If they care to spend the money to do that, why do you need a boat anymore when you have no water to float it on? These things are happening because your government gave corporations the rights of people to claim that they own mineral and water rights of a place they don't even own. And then they go to the place that they do own and they drain the aqueduct that your well is pumping from, if you have a well. And the lower that goes, eventually your local water system may not have water anymore either, dumping their waste out into the rivers and shit or to a treatment facility. And you still get that water back, but you get it all full of broken down chemicals and shit, and wonder why you're getting diseases and shit we've never known. New ones, old ones renamed, act like it's something new that you need to get a vaccine for, and a mandatory vaccine at that. And everybody that got one on future medical checks is finding out they've got heart problems. They got respiratory problems. Kid you not, go look at the data. Where did these companies come from mostly? That made these vaccines they wanted you to have so badly? Guess what you got treated with if you went to the hospital and had to stay there for COVID? The same fucking things. The same chemical mixtures that give you, if your respiratory system was bad enough, it may shut down. If your heart's bad enough, it may stop. But they're treating you for COVID. And then there's all these other kinds of COVID. All of a sudden, you've got other kinds that, oh, we hope this don't become a pandemic. We'll have to force vaccines again. Even the old vaccines are getting, like for measles and shit, there's a measles outbreak, right? Even the old vaccines are getting this chemical injected into the old vaccines. You get any kind of vaccine now, you're going to get it. The same thing. You may get over the measles, but you won't get over what they're putting into your body. You buy liquids at a commercial store. How many people have been diagnosed with heart problems and lung problems since COVID that haven't had COVID? I wonder when people are going to start answering that question. I've asked it all over the net today. How many people have gone to the doctors and found out they got a heart problem or a respiratory problem they never knew they had? People are going to wake up and start looking at that question a little harder very shortly, I promise you. It's not going to be very nice. And there's only one person to blame: the government. I don't give a damn where you are, who you are, what you've done. If you've bought a liquid commercially, you've also gotten these diseases. They wanted everybody to get these diseases because the population can no longer be controlled by these same negative upper echelon people. Okay? There's too many people What they don't realize is there's already a fix in place. If you cannot show, if you last until and when you come across Terran or Terran comes across you, you're not going to get the fix. And you're not going to go through the system of medical tests to detoxify your body. You can try all these various ways with herbs and this and that and the other thing and blah and blah. There's so many things to detoxify yourself. But don't some of these people still have heart problems, enlarged hearts, respiratory problems, and etc.? Some of the people that seem to die at the most untimely manner are the people that go to gyms and the people that try to get around the system of produced food, processed food. It seems like the harder you try, you get it. So what's happening? The water you drink, you buy a commercial drink, you're free willingly taking in those same things. If you don't have a well, taking water up out of the ground, at this point that water is still fairly clean. My filter I got a home filter that comes out at one point. It is filtered 4 times before you can ever get you a glass of water. 4 times. Doesn't make a damn if it's clean the first time. It goes through it 4 times. I have to hope and suspect there's no chemicals remaining that are man-made. That's my hope. I couldn't tell you. I don't have like a chemistry lab in my property, and I never did good in chemistry. But I can damn sure understand when people tell you that people are still dying. They're just dying slower. And they're going to get less and less treatment for it. Because, why? Because your orange Fuhrer in Washington is cutting health services, education services, government services. They want you to have a hard time or even be gone. And there's reasons for that I'm not going into on this video. You can find all this information if you look for it. I'm not the one giving it to you for the first time. It's my first time giving it to you, but I'm not the first that has this information about the governments who do not serve you, therefore they are worthless. And the sooner y'all see that and stop supporting them, the better off you'll be. You better start thinking, what can you do in your local area that if they close the banks tomorrow, you'll be okay? You have a service, you have a product, you have something you can trade without driving anywhere hardly but locally. Getting around locally, even if it's on a bicycle or you get a wagon and come up with some solar power for it. I'm just saying. You better do something to secure your future that doesn't involve government currency. Because it's going the way of the dodo really quick by their own design. And this doesn't necessarily come from Trump. And fuck their crypto. Nobody's going to tell you you've got crypto and then turn around and tell you you can't use it where you want to, which are going to do that. Hmm. I don't trust the government anywhere on this planet. And if I could make it happen, there would be no more government on this planet. Not from surface humans. The tendency and probability of negativity is overwhelming. It's just overwhelming. And one person alone, if you don't prepare, nobody's preparing for you. And if I can do it on my disabled income with what my wife allows me to use before she gets mad, and I consider it part of preparations and shit, you better believe I ain't waiting on nobody and no one, not even Terra. The writing's on the wall. You just have to want to see it. You just have to quit listening to the news, even if it means quit listening to all of the various types of news, because they're most all full of shit. There's not a news agency that the owner of the news agency isn't biased one way or another by something or someone. So why would you give any one of them the authority to be the source of everything? I sure as fuck don't. Even nobody in the bunker is safe. I have said that for 3 years. Nobody in a bunker is going to be safe. You may be safe from another human. That's debatable. But you're not going to be safe from Terrans. Y'all just need to be careful and think about what can you do today to help yourself in the tomorrows. And I did say that the way I meant to say it. You should have a goal of doing some small thing every day that if you didn't do it, you won't have it later. It's not about terror. It's not about the government. It's about you taking responsibility for your home, your dwelling, etc. I'm just telling you to be careful. Take responsibility for yourselves. And if you own your home, keep other people the fuck out of it to come in there and tell you what you're going to do in your own home. So y'all just be careful, okay? It's an hour and 49 minutes, and I really think I need to tell y'all I'm done for the evening. The conversation and the rescheduling for tomorrow morning from the new leader of the Agarthans, the Terran Agarthans, makes me happy. Makes me happy. Knowing that there are Terrans who are doing whatever they can do to meet this coming situation with surface being reintegrated with Terra. They're taking precautions and hoping they're tapping the right people to allow relationships Don't show yourself to be a negative, especially if you've deceived someone for some reason they didn't see it. I advise you to be very fucking careful in the future, especially after I go meet and talk with these people tomorrow morning who I've never spoken with before the other day, and only to one time. I'm going to have a big audience tomorrow. I know that's coming. So I need to rest and try to be 100%. So I'm only taking what I have to take for night meds tonight. I don't care if my back snaps into a right angle. I'm not taking no meds tonight because I have something important to do in the morning. And if it happens here, or if it happens there, there's another place that's going to happen approximately the same time. I don't concern myself with the future. I really don't. I do the best I can day by day. That includes me and my health and everything else. Out of Africa theory is completely debunked. Ancient Animal Atlas 3 months ago. Oh, why did I hit my mouse to scroll that up? And I bumped my mouse with the elbow. Out of Africa was always just a theory. It was never fact. And anybody that watches my channel ought to know that. If you have Lemurians, people that came from Lemuria, in the vicinity, the subsurface of Mount Shasta, USA, or soon to become the ex-USA, I should say. Mount Shasta will probably keep the name. Then you need to know and understand that there are Terrans all over this planet in relation to the surface. They may have relationships, they may not. They may think surface humans are the worst thing that's living on this planet right now, and they'd probably be correct. Most things on this planet that we consider predators are only predators for food. If you come across a being and you invade their territory and think you're all right because you're a human, so and so owns this property, you couldn't be further from the truth. Humans do not own property. If you tell a Terran that, they'll laugh at you. All you own that they're going to allow you to own is the building, the place that you live. And if you're not working the land, you don't have no right to the land. That's something you need to think about. So if you cross over into a Bigfoot territory and you seek to harm somebody, you're on their land, what they consider their territory for hunting purposes, and how they grow stuff there, the way they grow it doesn't appear to be how we would grow it, all organized and lined like a garden. You're the one at fault. And if you take a shot with a rifle at one of them, you deserve to be dismembered by them physically. I mean, you know, what the fuck? They're defending themselves. You are the ignorant human. They flew themselves here. Most of you can't figure out how to get from one continent to another by yourself. Seriously, come on. If it wasn't for corporations and planes, you'd be in corporations, you'd be stuck living in the same small hometown that you were born in, that your parents were born in, and etc. Like it was the Middle Ages or something. Without corporations, you'd have no travel. You probably wouldn't be working an hour's drive from home without corporation involvement. And that wouldn't be a bad thing. I'm just saying. It's time to rethink our civilization on the surface because it's coming to an end. It won't be a tomorrow thing. It won't be by next month thing, but it's coming to a slow, painful end. And that's why I tell people to prepare. The worst thing that's going to be in the world is not to prepare. And they say our economy collapsed today. If I had to close the bell of the everything was all about the stock market. And now Trump's saying it's not about the stock market anymore because they're about to fall. That's on video. Go find it. It's not about the stock market anymore. Our whole dollar value is based on the stock market and our trade system. And we're just about where we don't have a fucking trade system anymore with any country remaining. They're all going under China or Europe. And even some of Europe is starting to go towards China. Who's a superpower on the planet anymore? According to surface humans, it's not the US. We can't even figure out how to fund the budget for the military for the next year. It's unfundable. It's unsustainable. Everything about this country is unsustainable. You let it exist, so it exists. If you stop supporting it, if they know you're not going to support this government, they have no authority. They can't push it enough without losing what they already have. Because if they do, they'll fall faster. And they know that. They've been told. Your governments were told 100 years ago. The whole world was told over 100 years ago, terrorists coming to the surface. Not a damn one of them did a damn thing to inform their people. They know they're going to collapse. They didn't know when. I think even that is starting to be known now. In time, when the time is right, it may not be in the time we want. It may not be. I know what you're talking about. These hoverboards. They're. Oh shit! They came out of nowhere. I used to know what they were called. I'm getting tired. Skimmers. Something like a skimmer. They look like a surfboard, bigger than a surfboard. But you can get a few people or you can get cargo on them and the weight doesn't matter. And they'll go up certain heights and go. Was it skimmer? Damn, I got so much on my mind. Anyway, y'all do what you can for yourselves. Um, there is a device, Trish, for people that can't move and travel themselves. And I think I know what you're talking about. There is a device for that. But I don't think they have many of those devices because Terra fixes it things. They don't replace, they don't perform surgery and cut off a knee and give you a new knee. They think that's a horror. To a Terran, that's a horror. They regrow it. But if you haven't had it in so long and you've had it removed, can they regrow it? I don't know. Them knowing that I have metal inside of me to them is a horror. It's how do you function? How do you feel this and how do you feel that? And I'm like, well, there's some things I don't know. I don't think my back is involved in that, but my knees, only the skin and muscles have feeling. I mean, how do you feel your bones in your knees when they're not there no more? Anyway, I do know that they have a device, a technical device that's small for an individual that has such a inability to move and travel. I don't even know what they call it. I've only seen it one time. And I must say that that individual was in a pretty sad state, even for some other kind of being. And to know that. Yeah. But all that distance won't even make a difference if and when, and if Terra does what's expected of them to do. It's what they want to do, but they seem to be real flimsy on the timing of it. And that's what infuriates me. Like I said in that other video, lifetimes of people could go by and Terra won't notice that kind of time because of their lifetimes or so long in advance. I mean, 5,000 year term for a council leader. I don't fucking want no 5,000 year term in the state I'm in. Sometimes I can't imagine a whole another year in the state I'm in. And I'm not that bad off. I mean, I got problems, but I'm not that bad off. And I still can't imagine it. So, we're all going to be in the same boat eventually. If we don't get rid of our governments and our civilization and wait and be open to full and complete humans existing at the time relationship with Terrans. So whenever that day breaks on the surface of this planet, I think you're already going to be looking at a different kind of planet. And I'm hoping, personally, I'm hoping, whether I'm here or not, that there are no more negatives on the planet. It's not even a chance of happening or becoming ostracized in such a manner that your life will be so hard on your own, ostracized. Oh, well, your choices. You must pay the price of your choices. Because right now they're not. If it was up to me, they would pay a price and have suffering at the same time. And that's all I'm going to say tonight. Because it's 2 hours and 4 minutes and counting. I appreciate those that have been here. And I appreciate those that will come in the future. I hope so, Trish. I hope it's spreading. I'm seeing and watching from online, and I'm seeing a lot of things that I like. And I see the same people doing the same old things. those people are not the ones that we need here on Terra. The way things have done now and the way things used to be done, it's all got to go. I don't know if any of it's worth keeping. But to know that there are people that can see this shit and know it's wrong, and no amount of pressure is going to get them to abide or comply. Even the threat and penalty of punishment in prison or something, or being deported illegally, or being threatened by military or nuked, or threatening to use nukes on your country because you don't comply with another country. Yeah, those people can go straight and directly to nothingness, never to be incarnated again. If there's anything that you dread, that you should dread during your lifetime, is to become that such kind of person. That there are people that do not mind ending any possible future existence of you, this life or any other life. When you are of that nature, that is the only course of action to be taken against you. End your existence and any future existence. Because you don't want you don't want a negative to reincarnate on this planet. You don't want two negatives to create another possible negative. Because when they grow them up and go through their life living in this family, there may be a positive come out of it. But how the seeds of negativity were already planted by their mother and father. What does it take? Anger? Does it take something not going a certain way for their negativity to expose itself? What does it take? Being a child that was neglected and abused myself and going through trauma in the early parts of my life that were not family related, I can tell you, society as we know it today is nothing but harmful. It's the individual people themselves that must be positive upon an individual for them to be positive as well. If you're around negativity, you become negative. And how I did not, I don't know. Because I should have been. And I do not lie to you. I had every reason to be a negative in my life. Some might see me as negative because I don't comply and I don't this and I don't that. And you're an asshole. And I'm like, yeah. But I'm a different asshole. I'm one that thinks justice should hit you so hard you suffer for what you've done, and then we end the existence. Maybe that's a surface human aspect wanting a negative to suffer. Maybe that's part of my surface stuff. I don't know. But I'm not opposed to it. They better blink you. They better blink you before I find you. Let's put it that way. Then your existence will be over, and you will have suffered. But that's me. There should be a known fact if somebody suffered with the application of justice because of the victim. Not because this person broke the law, but because of the victims that they had, one or more. They deserve something in knowledge of knowing that you paid the ultimate price for what you done wrong. Instead of just 1 second you're here and 1 second you're gone. You don't know shit. You don't even know what happened except that this happened. And you don't know that after it happens because you don't know anything. Okay, that's it. I can keep rambling. I do that. And I damn sure don't want no 8-hour video like I used to do. I couldn't handle that right now. So y'all have a good night. Try to prepare in something, one way, in something tomorrow. I don't care. Buy some medical stuff. And don't look at expiration dates. When you have none, old doesn't matter. Look into all kinds of preparedness stuff and look at one thing a day. What can you do about one thing every day? Or do you already have something that'll take care of one thing every day? And put it to the side. Save it. I'm not saying put it in a pack either. Put it in a tote. Put it in a closet where all that kind of stuff is going to go so you know where this stuff is. You never know what's going to happen, right? Y'all have a good night. This Larry, and I'm out of here.